everyone, welcome back to Coffee with Bookmark. This is Vandana and today I am doing a 2020 wrap-up video. In this video, I'll be talking about all the books that I read last year, but it won't be lengthy, I promise you that. So let's get into the video. In total, I read 28 books including some paperbacks, ebooks and also audiobooks, some finished, some not. So I'll start with the finished ones. The first one is The Fix by David Baldacci, which is the third book from the Amos Tucker series. Amos Tucker is an FBI agent, and in this book he is investigating a murder in which he is also an eyewitness. I read the book twice, in January and in November. The second book is The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. This is considered to be a memoir by Anne Frank, and it have all the information about the period when she and her family along with some other people went into hiding to escape from the Nazis. It's a must-read book. It's a non-fiction. It's written by a 13-year-old girl, and it's fantastic. The third one is a classic by Antonio de Saint-Exupéry. It's The Little Prince. I bought the book because I really loved the book cover, and also it has so many pictures. I read the book 3 times, and in the third attempt I succeeded to finish the book. But to understand what's in the book and what's the story, I think I need to read it 100 more times. It's a must-read book, and it's a book for everyone, like for children, for adults and everyone. But it is difficult to understand. The next one is again a classic. I think I read mostly classics last year. It's A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, my most favorite book in my entire collection. And it narrates the story of Sarah Crew, who is 7 years old, and she is sent to a seminary for girls, like a boarding school, because her father is leaving to India. And it narrates how she was treated when she was wealthy and how she became a beggar later, and all this. It's emotional read. Next is Krishna's Sister by Priyanka Bhuyan, which is the first book from the series Chronicles of Kuru Woman, and it tells the story of Mahabharat in Subhadra's perspective. 80% is Mahabharat itself, and the left describes how her childhood was and how she became Arjun's wife and all those things. Next is The Reckoning by John Grisham. I already made a detailed review of this book in my IGTV. I will link it in the description box below. Also, this one is a courtroom thriller. It's a very heavy book, by the way. The next is The Unprodigal by Manu Dhawan, which came to me as a review copy. In this story, there is a boy called Aryan. He's not just a boy, he's 23 or 24 years old, and he is trying to find out who is the murderer of his grandfather. The next one is Looking for Alaska, my first take on John Green book. This one is the story of a boy. His name is Miles, and he is going to a boarding school. Then there are so many friends along with a girl whose name is Alaska. She is very difficult to understand, and he is trying to be close with her. And this book is heartbreaking, also confusing. The next is Amor by Naufar Abubakar and Ipshita Chaudhary. They both combinedly wrote the book. This book is about the story of Hasani, who is a South Indian, and Neer, who is a North Indian. Both of them were met in their college life, and they fall in love after they break up, and all those things happening with Neer and Hasani is described in the book. The book is a little bit tiring because the conversations are like lengthy. The next one is The Mysterious Affair at Styles by Agatha Christie. Last year I decided to read Agatha Christie books in chronological order, and this one is her first detective novel, and also this one is the first in the Poirot series. Yeah, that's it. Also, I read the book twice, in August or September and December. This was my last read of 2020. The next one is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I don't have the copy now. I borrowed it from a 13-year-old Potterhead. Sorry. I borrowed the book from a 13-year-old Potterhead. She was so kind to give me the book, and I was not interested in reading it because I don't have the book. I want to binge read it. So I thought I will buy the full book set and then I will start reading. But she asked me, why don't you read one book at least? And I was also intrigued to Harry Potter because I watched all the movies but haven't read any. So that's why I picked it up. I There is no need to review Harry Potter. The next one is the Jungle Book, which I listened to in the Amazon Audible app. This one was a free book to read, and at that time, I remember it was in January when I got the 14-day trial membership of Audible. I first got this one, and Madhu was also intrigued to listen to all the sounds. The Jungle Book was narrated in a very interesting manner. All the animal sounds were there, so it was Madhav who was intrigued to this book. The next three are ebooks. The first one is The What Eyes See by Nitya Ravi. Yes, it's by Nitya Ravi. And it's also a review copy that came to me, and it was scary. Like, it's a collection of horror stories or dark stories. Not completely horror, they are dark. And when I was reading it, it's not you. When I was reading it, I felt like, oh, somebody is like near me. I was not able to read it completely, but somehow I finished the book and I was so scared of it. Already made a review on the book. Go check out my Instagram. Next is Once You Have Lived with Mountains by Ruskin Bond, which is a collection of short stories when he was living in the mountain regions like Missouri and Dehra. Also, I made a reading vlog on the book. You can check it in the description box below. The last finished book, also the last one, is an ebook. It's On Women by Khushwant Singh. I regret reading the book. It's kind of an erotic story, but it has some other stories. I picked it up because the content have so many personalities, like so many famous personalities like Indira Gandhi, Mother Teresa, etc. But the first three stories were disturbing. The first one is about a 16-year-old girl. I don't remember her name, but the story was like a 40-year-old Indian tourist was trying to seduce the 16-year-old foreigner, and I was really angry with the chapter. The next book is Tarikshir by Khayal Patel. I really like the book, but the fact that I dropped, the reason why I dropped the book is there is a scene which describes a dark area, a closed area, and I was really disturbed with it because I have claustrophobia, and I get easily scared of that scenes if I'm reading it in a book or even watching it in a movie. So the next one is Milk and Honey. I read the book, 90% of the book, and there is four parts. It's about, it's by Rupi Kaur. It's a famous book. It's a collection of poems, by the way. There is the hurting, the loving, the breaking, and the healing. I read the first three parts, and when it comes to healing, I dropped it. I don't know. Next one is How to Become a Rich by Devdutt Patnaik. I dropped it because all the stories in the book are familiar to me. Next one is The Perfect Drug by Chaitanya Seni. Again, Chaitanya Seni came to me and asked me very politely, can you please read and review this book? I told yes, why not? The cover was also very nice. It's colorful, but the problem is the book is so thick and the font size is also large, and at a point I dropped it. I read 30% of the book. Next one is 1984 by George Orwell. I read 80% of the book, but and then I dropped it because I was not into the story, and the narration was a little bit difficult for me. Life's Amazing Secrets by Gopal Das. I finished four chapters of the book and I then dropped it. I am not okay with self-help book. Next two are ebooks that I didn't finish. I started reading these two in the last week of December. The first one is Amma by Perumal Murugan, which is a collection of 10 essays about his mother. The next is The Wedding Tamasha. It's a romantic story of a girl who is trying to get divorced, or who is trying to escape from her husband. It's written by Sudha Nair. Space of Her Own, which is a collection of memoirs by 12 women. Then the next one is Becoming, which is by Michelle Obama. It's also narrated by Michelle Obama. I listened to all of them through on Audible. Next is Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, and moving on to the last two, it's Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens and My India by Jim Corbett. So these are the books I read in last year. There are 28 books, and I think counting the finished ones only, I read 3,700 pages, which is a good number. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. If yes, please like and share. Also subscribe to my channel for more bookish contents. Bye and thanks for watching. Take care.